What's up, KMA Land? KMA Sports Director Derek Martin, sitting here in Clarinda for today's Wednesday Word, an opportunity to talk with the new head man for the Clarinda Cardinals, head football coach that is, Mark Schilb. He's back. He's better than ever. He's been all around the entire nation coaching, and he's back to try to bring the Cardinals back to prominence. As Mark Schilb, 1991 graduate for the Cardinals, again, the head coach for Clarinda. Had a chance to talk with him, had a chance to talk to one of his big seniors. They got a big offensive and defensive line this year. One of his big guys, Dakota Calfee, also talking with me today on the Wednesday Word. So since Coach Schilb is back home, I guess the Wednesday Word today is home. All right, we're talking with Mark Schilb, head coach for Clarinda. Coach, thanks a lot for taking time out here with practice and stuff. But I guess back to Clarinda. So before we kind of get into how practices have gone, talk to us about what you've been doing since you graduated from Clarinda. I know you've been around, done a lot of football coaching.
Yeah, I started out in Texas, moved up to Missouri. I've been in Kansas City area and rural Missouri, and then recently back in Iowa. So, you know, my resume is all over the place. But it's good to be home, and it's good to work with a lot of familiar names and faces.
One thing we've seen with pretty much every job that you've had is you've done a lot of winning. I guess what's the one thing that kind of stands out from each spot as far as what was the reason for, or what would you attribute that winning to?
I think hard work, expectations, and coming out every day and giving your best. And if you can get a bunch of guys to buy into that attitude, it's nothing more fun than winning football games because there's so many people involved.
Obviously, we mentioned that you're a Clarinda graduate from Clarinda, grew up here, graduated in 1991, and able to get back here. I guess when this job came open, when you heard about that, was this something you definitely wanted to look at?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, if more than anything, just being around my family. My dad lives here and have some cousins and relatives around, and it's just good to kind of reunite with people at church and things like that. And, you know, football's a bonus that we get to do that. It's a passion of mine, and just real thankful for the opportunity. Is
this I guess, a dream job? Maybe that's an overused phrase, but it's kind of a dream job for you?
Well, I've had some good jobs and was enjoying where I was at, but you know, like I just mentioned, just being closer to family as I've gotten older, that's an important issue for us at home. So.
All right, talk a little bit about your philosophies in offensively, defensively. Which way do you kind of lean towards? What are your philosophies overall?
Well, just playing hard, keeping it simple. You know, I think coaching football is like putting a puzzle together. You got to get all these guys in the right spots for them to be as successful as they can, and buy into those. You know, those roles that we put them in as coaches, and you know, I've seen it all. I've seen the spread offense, ran the veer. You know, one thing we're going to try and be here is unique and different. I think that's you know, trying to make it a little more difficult to prepare to play us. And defensively, we're going to line up and get to the ball and tackle as hard as we can go.
So I guess it sounds like you don't really have a set system. You just kind of move your system towards what kind of players you have. Is that safe to say?
No, we have a set system for sure. It's something that we've incorporated all the way down in our 4th and 5th graders this year. So well, you know, our consistent schemes are important, and it's been good so far. Just seeing all the coaches in middle school and our youth guys all running the same thing.
Saw your assistants around here, a lot of familiar faces. Talk about your staff.
Oh, great bunch of guys so far. You know, you don't know what it's going to be like when you come in. So every day we're learning more about each other, and you know, it's my job to kind of create that vision for them and help them along. They've taken their assignments and run with it. Coach Williams has been here since '86. Coach Almaline's been here 13 years, and Coach Porter's a huge asset there. He's the wrestling coach and had a lot of success. So, you know, we got some energy, we got some experience, and so far so good. And we have 2 volunteers, Coach Stickler and Coach Thummel, are former players here that bring a lot of passion for Cardinal football.
Coach Williams, you mentioned he's very well known for a lot of good things, being a great defensive guy. I guess you played for him then?
He was on our staff when I was in high school, yes.
Is he kind of the same guy as he was back then?
Oh, he's changed a little bit. But one thing that stands out about Roger is that he loves Clarinda football and he loves this town. He's the fire chief here, and just all the little things Roger helps with is, you know, you couldn't replace him.
Talk about your team a little bit. What'd you kind of come into last year? I think lost maybe some skilled guys from last year's team, but I think you got a pretty big group up front.
Yeah, on paper we're big. We're just trying to be more physical every day. We got a lot of returning players back from last year. The senior class last year here in Clarinda was pretty small. Had some good players there, but just not a lot of them. So we return a lot of kids, and so that aspect makes it exciting. But we're just trying to raise the bar at practice, our expectations, our work ethic in the weight room, and everything we ask them to do. It's just we got to step it up.
You're kind of used to coming in, first year kind of guy. I mean, like you talk about the stops that you've made, I guess you're starting to maybe learn a few things from going. How did you kind of approach walking in here with some guys and some guys that were already on staff previously as well?
Well, you live and learn, and you probably learn more when you make mistakes. And you know, I've been around a lot of places, and both as a coach, a head coach, and as an assistant. And I've tried to come in here with a positive attitude and fill these kids with some energy and you know, some belief in themselves, and just trying to kind of tighten the bolt every day, being a little more physical and asking them to do a little bit more. So there's a lot of potential here, I feel like, and I feel like we can be a good 2A football team. Looking
at that district in Class 2A, obviously Kemper's probably going to be one of the top-rated teams in the state. You look at the rest of them, there's a lot of graduation, a lot of teams that lost a lot of guys. I guess, what are your thoughts on the district? Do you know much about it yet?
And to be honest, I don't know a whole lot. And what we've been trying to focus on is ourselves. And, you know, I know that that's an easy answer, but it's the truth. You know, if we're better, well, we can control ourselves. I can't control what's going on in Red Oak and Shenandoah and all over. So, you know, the game week comes, we'll try and scout them out on our huddle package and just like every other coach. But really starts right here in our own grass and our own attitudes. I think we control our attitudes and our effort, and that's what the focus has been.
Maybe along those same lines, do you have goals at this point? I know it's fairly early in the season. Or what would you like to see this team at come October, November?
We haven't really talked about that. It's just something that we go day by day, and as our chant goes, we're trying to get, you know, better every day. So it's a pretty simple formula.
Looking ahead to week 1, I guess we're about almost a week away. Talk about the first opponent.
Well, traditionally Atlantic's been a real strong 3A program. As a matter of fact, last year I saw them at the team camp that we were at, and some typical Atlantic athletes, pretty strong, tough-looking kids. So we know they'll come in here and try and be physical with us. That's why we go to practice every day. We know what lies ahead. Week 1 and 2 we'll be tested definitely with Atlantic, and then we play at Creston.
Coach, thanks a lot for taking time out of your practice here today, and best of luck to you. Looking forward to talking with you throughout the year.
Okay, thanks.
Dakota Calfee, senior nose tackle, 3 tech, and then tackle on the offensive side, talking with one of the seniors here on the Clarinda roster. And Dakota, new head coach, a lot of the same coaching staff, though. Can you kind of talk about what kind of changes you've seen so far?
Well, practice has been a lot more serious lately compared to last year. We seem to get a lot more done in a limited amount of time. A lot of freshmen out this year. We seem to be going pretty hard. They seem to be keeping up, which is kind of surprising.
What's Coach Schilb? When did you first meet him, and then what was the early message as far as with Coach Schilb?
I didn't meet him until the first day of speed and agility, but a bunch of them met him in March whenever he came down for a football meeting or something like that. He's pretty straightforward about what he wants from our team this year. We have 2 core values, which is being where you're supposed to be on time and representing your school.
Are you doing that?
Oh, yeah. We haven't really had any problems yet, so that's good.
One thing he talked a lot about is being more physical than you guys maybe have in the past, or maybe just being more physical each and every time out, I guess. Is that something you feel like this is a virtue of this team?
Oh, yeah. If we become more physical, we will definitely be able to compete in games a lot better than last year.
One thing that we were talking about is that's a big-looking team over there, including yourself. And he said it's on paper. He just wants to kind of translate that to the field. Do you feel like this is an opportunity for you guys just to kind of dominate up front, where maybe you're not as experienced with the skill guys yet this year?
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of size with me and Jared DeVoe and Brooke Stevens. We're pushing us 3 is almost 700 pounds. or over 700, I guess.
You guys kind of take pride in that?
Oh yeah, we are definitely going to take pride in the offense and defensive line.
Maybe I'm talking about taking pride in being 700 pounds or whatever, but just talking about kind of dominating up front. I guess looking ahead for you, what in your senior year? I know everybody always has big goals in their senior year. What are you kind of going to be looking to do as a team?
Dome and state championship. What else would anybody want?
All right, Dakota, appreciate you talking today, and best of luck to you this year. All right.